population increasingly on the move is taxing our transportation facilities beyond the flow for which they were designed. The congestion arising from this escalating foot, automotive, and air traffic means changes for those of us who have to travel. Our traveling now demands more planning and more delays, to say nothing of increasing cost and time requirements. In a world where advancing technology has dramatically sped up data communications, we are forced to make decisions much more quickly than in the past. Data is transmitted instantaneously, facts assimilated in seconds, and reports a matter of minutes. All that remains is a visit to the site, a visit that today's top executives would rather not make because of the ever-increasing time, cost, and crowds associated with commercial air travel. For when speed is of the essence, the answer must be flight. Deregulation, though, is rapidly putting an end to many non-stop airline flights, leaving fewer flights to fewer airports. The need for a fuel-efficient, long-range executive jet to get you where you want to be, when you want to be there, has never been more obvious. To that end, Robertson presents the Eagle. A Citation fan jet converted to the Eagle configuration offers the total performance needed in today's business community, where time is money. Throughout the early years of the business jet, oil products were relatively inexpensive, and the pumps were always full. The newer product lines of today's manufacturers offer more miles to the gallon, more gallons to the tank. But shop labor and manufacturing costs have driven the price of these newer, more efficient aircraft out of sight. Replacement may no longer be the best, most economical answer. Today, conversion is an alternative accepted by many. That is, by all but the manufacturers who see a greater income from new product sales than through updating their existing product lines. Without the benefits available through current, fuel, and time-efficient modifications, otherwise sound aircraft are forced into premature retirement. The Robertson Eagle is an excellent example of how the less costly application of advanced technology can efficiently extend the life of an older model aircraft. The Cessna Citation was chosen for the Eagle modification for two reasons. Firstly, it had an established reputation as a highly efficient, low-maintenance aircraft with an excellent safety record. And secondly, the latest computerized design techniques implemented at the Robertson Engineering Center indicated that a reasonably priced modification could extend the aircraft's productivity well beyond its anticipated lifespan. At the Robertson facility on Payne Field in Everett, Washington, the work will have already begun in anticipation of the soon-to-be modified Citation's arrival. The structural portion of each inboard airfoil has been completely pre-assembled, thus ensuring that the modification will take no longer than 31 working days. Prior to entering the Robertson hangar, where a variety of other Citations are in varying stages of completion, the incoming aircraft has undergone a rigorous pre-modification flight test, a detailed ground inspection of the airframe, and complete system functional checks. Once in the assembly plant, the paint is stripped from the inboard portion of the wing. The wings are then removed, placed on the rotating jig, and the new airfoil fitted. The addition of this enlarged airfoil, contoured over the inboard portion of the Citation wing, reduces adverse pressure gradients caused by the close proximity of the engine inlet, or nacelles, to the upper surface of the wing and the fuselage. This airfoil, along with a wingtip extension, does a great deal more than simply improve the aerodynamics of the Citation. An increased wing area, wing aspect ratio, and wing volume all combine to dramatically increase the Citation's non-stop range. An expandable de-icing boot and thermal panel are a part of the overall modification. The tip extension and thickened wing root make for an enlarged wet wing fuel storage capacity, meaning more onboard fuel. And that, combined with a significantly improved rate of climb, means longer flights with fewer refueling stops. As the inboard mod is fitted and the wet wing fuel passageways opened, the original tip is removed. All of the over 900 parts used in the Eagle construction are manufactured in-house, guaranteeing that both cost and availability delays are kept to a minimum. A highly skilled, full-time staff of machinists, electronics technicians, engineers, and aircraft fabricators are constantly giving their complete attention to each Eagle as it moves through the assembly process. A great deal of the modification has been pre-manufactured to ensure that the actual downtime will not exceed 7 weeks. Before the inboard wing mod is fitted to the wing for the last time, the jig is brought to its upright vertical position. Finishing touches are made to the mod structure. And then it is permanently attached to the wing. The wingtip extension is also secured at this time. The skin is now added to the longer, thicker airfoil, and it's tapered spanwise into the existing Citation wing at mid-span. The completed Eagle wing is now reinstalled. During the 7 weeks of required downtime, a variety of other necessary and optional maintenance procedures can be undertaken. Additional electronics may be added, interior decor refurnished, or engines overhauled. A host of connections, alignments, adjustments, and inspections are tackled with the attention to detail that comes from the knowledge that any errors here cannot and will not be tolerated. The Eagle is now ready for its first test flight prior to the reapplication of paint. The entire Eagle will be completely repainted to the owner's specifications as part of the all-inclusive cost. Few Citation operators have not wished from time to time that their airplanes could go just a little farther between refuelings, climb a little bit faster to cruise altitude, or pack a little more reserve fuel for those extra long missions. Those advantages and more result from the Eagle modification. No aircraft priced within $1 million of the Eagle can match its performance in terms of speed, range, and economy. At takeoff, the effects of the modification become sharply obvious. You will be up and away in 20% less runway, while carrying a net load increase of as much as 544 pounds. In hot, short, or high-altitude limited field conditions, the 835 pounds of increased fuel capacity will have a positive effect on absolute range, as the Eagle will carry the same payload about 50% further than an unmodified Citation. Since fuel specifics for jet engines are worst at low altitudes, any reduction in the time required to climb to cruising altitude translates directly into reduced fuel consumption. Ground level noise is reduced as the Eagle clears the airport at a higher altitude. On a 1,200 nautical mile mission, the Eagle will burn approximately 15% or 90 gallons less fuel. Not having to refuel means the Eagle will be even more fuel efficient on missions of 1,200 to 1,800 nautical miles. These performance improvements come from the increased wing area and wing volume and the reduction of interference drag. The benefits are an improved rate of climb, a higher cruise altitude, and an increased cruising speed. On descent and landing, the safety margin is greatly enhanced, and stall speed drops well below 80 knots. And with the approach speed reduced by 13 knots, those limited runway landings will no longer result in frequent wheel, tire, and brake maintenance. The float sometimes experienced in unmodified Citations is also completely eliminated, a useful improvement when field length dictates a no-float arrival. Today's business community is moving faster and further afield as modern communications make vital decision-making information available in record time. And a less active economy requires that many corporations seek markets spanning broader geographic areas. Today's business jet must meet these goals while being both time and fuel efficient. The Eagle fan jet quickly and quietly delivers. In 5.5 hours, the Eagle travels as far as our 500-mile-per-hour competitor, and they must refuel. Remote markets are brought into range with the Eagle, as long distances and short runways make many rural centers virtually inaccessible through the deregulated commercial airlines. Refueling can most often wait until day's end with the increased fuel capacity of the Eagle. Emery Air Freight and others have found the Eagle perfect for freight and courier service. The business jet is a sensible concept, but as fuel becomes more costly and our needs require longer, faster flights and greater fuel reserves, updating becomes necessary. At Robertson, the idea of premature retirement is only acceptable when the simple, safe application of advanced technology is not cost-effective. That time is not upon us. The future is rushing us, but at Robertson, our engineers are offering simple improvements to help make today's aircraft tomorrow's. The Robertson Eagle. We make good ideas fly.